for the Raiders. No head coach celebrates with the fans like John Gruden does here at the Coliseum. They love him, and let me tell you, he loves them. Aaron Andrews is standing by with a game-winning quarterback, Derek Carr. Aaron.
Yeah, and Derek's having a glance at his coach running around, but I got to tell you, take me through the final seconds there when Los Angeles had the ball. You were jumping around. I was afraid you were going to pull a hammy. What were you thinking?
Yeah, no, I just love this team. I love this organization so much. I get emotional talking about it because I've been through so many highs and lows in this place, and these fans have stuck behind me the whole way. And it's a lot of fun to win in front of them. And so the way we did it, too, against a tough defense, to go down in a 2-minute drive.
Right.
You look at last week, they did the same thing to us they did to the Packers, man. That's a top 5 defense in the league, you know. And to go down to a 2-minute drive, win the game on a run play, I just love that for our offensive line. You
guys improved to 5-4, and there was talk out here during pregame by some of your teammates saying this could set the tone. This could be playoffs. What is your thoughts about this win?
Yeah, absolutely. And we got a lot of young guys, so I tell them to just pump their brakes a little bit. It's my 6th year, and I've only been once, and I didn't even get to play because I broke my ankle. So I told them, just let's pump our brakes and let's just do our job. You know, that's all we need to focus on right now, but it does feel good to be in the hunt. We're playing games that matter, just like tonight. And that's what you want in November, is you're playing games that matter. And we can set ourselves up, but we got 7 more games to go.
There's that coach speak from you. Congratulations. Thanks for the time.
God bless you. Thank you.
All right. All right, Joe.
All right. Thanks, Aaron, and thanks to Derek Carr for stopping by. He told us the rookie that got the game-winning touchdown, Josh Jacobs, calls him sir. This kind of kid he is. Big win out here for the Raiders, and Derek Carr and John Gruden back after this.
Sunday, a Fox tradition continues as we'll take our show to the prestigious campus of the United States Military Academy at West Point in recognition of Veterans Day. It'll be a fantastic 2 hours, Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific.
Phillip Rivers on that last drive, 0 for 7 with an interception. And for that Raider defense, a 5-sack game, 3 interceptions and a touchdown. And it was Harris who got it. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. That was a fun one out here on a chilly November night in Oakland. And who's to say the Raiders can't get to the postseason? Their strength of schedule is really good in their favor the rest of the way on out. So this was a big win, and you can see the foundation now being built for Oakland.
Yeah, I agree. And I was on a team that was really poor, and then how do you turn the corner? And you know, when you've been losing games the way they did a year ago, and you've got so many young players, you know, these are the kinds of games that help you get over the hump. You know, you win the close games at home against a team that, you know, has kind of had your number. And I thought it was just a really great team win. And for Derek Carr, like we talked about in this game, who's been surrounded by a lot of really young players, and he's had to bring them along, to take the ball and drive it down the field and get the touchdown. Josh Jacobs runs it in and to take the lead. That was a defining drive for this point in the season, and a really big-time win.
I like what Derek Carr said during the week. He said, you know, I'm in my 6th year. We've laid the foundation before here, and then we've taken a jackhammer to that, and then we've had to relay the foundation. He's like, finally, I feel like we have the foundation. So when I say it's being built for Oakland, it's really being built for the Raiders, because this franchise is going to make a move next year. They've got great fans here. They were a big part of this win, making a ton of noise in this stadium. But as they look ahead, you know, it's not all about 2020 right now and the move. It's about the rest of 2019. And God, do they love this guy or what?
Yeah, well, they love him, and like you said, he loves them. He loves this Coliseum. He loves the Raider Nation. He loves being a Raider, and I think that's one of the reasons why it works. You know, I mean, he's able to sell this program, what it meant to him when he was here before, and trying to rebuild this organization and make them proud once again. And It was pretty awesome. It was a great atmosphere here tonight. Like we talked about, the last primetime game here at the Coliseum, they came out wanting to party, and they got one.
Yep. They got a chance to have a good time here tonight down the stretch and on into the night. Coming up next is the late local news on Fox and the Mercedes-Benz postgame show on NFL Network. 26-24 Raiders. Thanks for watching Thursday Night Football presented by Bud Light Platinum. Adios.
Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz postgame show.
This one came down to the very end of the game. The Raiders' first win against the Chargers since 2016 when they were still in San Diego. You know that John Gruden is fired up about that. His rookies stepped up, his defense stepped up, and now they are 2-point winners over the Chargers in this Week 10. These fans so happy to see their team with the win tonight and finally be back home after they were home on Sunday, but they were away for so long before that. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Colleen Wolfe with Steve Smith Sr., Steve Mariucci, and Joe Thomas. And guys, this was a game that at the very end, some of these fans here were nervous, but this place was so loud all night long because of this. Check this out. Now they are firmly cemented in the AFC playoff picture. You can see right there, they are right behind the Colts, but just, keep in mind, they beat the Colts earlier this year. They're in second place in the division at 5-4, and this is all because of that final drive from them, the game-winning drive where we saw Josh Jacobs.
My guy!
Your guy, indeed. This was, let's go through this right here.
Yeah, you're talking about a 10-play drive. Got to go 75 yards for the touchdown, and boy, did Derek Carr deliver.
Calm and collective, stand with the pass rush coming. He didn't have happy feet. He went through his progressions, throwing the ball to guys catchable and letting them get in space and do what they do. Let the playmakers make the plays and let the Admiral control the field like Derek Carr did. And then you have my number one guy, Josh Jacobs. What does he do? Protect the football, catch the ball out of the backfield and run with a purpose. You've seen that all year long thus far, and you will continue to see it moving forward.
And Josh Jacobs, he didn't have a big night like we maybe expected coming in, but he was big when they needed him, scoring that last touchdown and then icing the game right at the end.
And so was his defense. This Raiders defense really stepped up. They picked off Phillip Rivers 3 times. Carl Joseph there at the end. Eric Harris also 2 picks tonight, 1 return for the score. We'll have Eric Harris join us on the set, which is really cool because we saw his journey throughout just to get to this point. So we'll talk to him about that. But the pass rush, Joe, was on point tonight.
Chargers offensive line really struggled tonight. Both starting tackles were out. Max Crosby had a field day. They were not able to block him almost the entire night. He was harassing Phillip Rivers, and he never allowed Phillip Rivers to get comfortable in the pocket. We saw passes sailing. We saw passes getting tipped. We saw Phillip Rivers getting hit over and over again, getting hit low, getting hit high. And I think that led to some of the bad passes down the stretch for Phillip Rivers. He was really bad on that last drive, and that's not what we're used to seeing from Phillip Rivers, but that pressure was getting to him.
Yep, you're right. We don't really see him rattled a lot by that, but just with all those injuries they're dealing with on the offensive line, and I think that this was a really good thing for the Raiders just to get that confidence back, get that feeling as they make this push here in the second half for the playoffs. Eric Harris, he will, as I just mentioned, join us coming up, and here is his pick 6. He would have had another one too in this game, another pick, but it was wiped away because of a penalty. So a huge night for Eric Harris as the Raiders take the win, and here he comes over here right now, guys. That's coming up next, and tomorrow the final countdown begins as celebrity fans join NFL stars and legends to remember the most dominant teams in NFL history. NFL 100 Greatest, that's coming up tomorrow at 8 p.m. only on NFL Network.
You are watching the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
glow bright, and all your dreams take flight. Lease the C300 sedan for just $399 a month at the Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Hurry in today.
Get your game day started Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern with a special Salute to Service edition of NFL Game Day Morning. As we celebrate the brave men and women who protect our freedoms, Chiefs QB Patrick Mahomes expresses his appreciation for one lifelong Chiefs fan.
Dear Scott, I wanted to send you a note personally thanking you for your service to our great country.
And 15 years after his death, the legacy of Pat Tillman lives on.
There are currently 635 Tillman scholars, each of us doing our best to leave our mark in this world.
Plus, with Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott going head-to-head in primetime, Kurt and Mooch square off in an XO showdown you won't want to miss. All that and more, Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern on NFL Game Day Morning.
Let's bring in tonight's star of the game presented by Mercedes-Benz, and it is Eric Harris here. 2 interceptions tonight, 1 returned for a touchdown. Should have been 3, quite frankly, but we'll get into that in a minute. But what a night for the Raiders here at home. A massive statement win. All of your fans still right here hanging out, cheering you on. I mean, this was a massive game for you guys to win. Division rival against the Chargers here at home in Oakland on CNF. How did it feel to be such a big part of the outcome?
I mean, it's a great feeling, you know, on a short week. Credit to our coaches getting us the game plan and preparing. You know, I know they didn't get a lot of sleep this week, you know, and everybody, you know, took care of their bodies and was a pro. And shout out to the offense getting it done when they needed to. And, you know, my guys up front, I told them, it started with them first and second down. We got to win that. Win first, second down, stop the run. They got 2 great backs, and obviously 17's back there, and he does a lot of damage.
Eric, as Colleen mentioned, 3 interceptions. 1 was called back. 1 led to an opening field goal, and 1 was the pick 6, all right? Take us through. What did you see on those interceptions that stood? This was a fantastic first half for you.
This one, honestly, I was just in the right place at the right time. I think Phillip overthrew the ball a little bit, and, you know, it was a gift to me. The other one, you know, we were playing the coverage, and I saw number 2 on the ball, so I was trying to disguise the coverage a little bit. You know, Phillip always knows what defense you're going to be in. He puts the offense in the right calls, and I knew as soon as that guy got around our linebacker, he was going to wrap around, and I just drove it.
Your defensive line was getting all sorts of pressure all night, harassing Phillip Rivers, making things tough on him. Max Crosby had a big game. He was beating up their tackles all night. Yeah. He did have an offsides, though, that nullified one of your interceptions. Does he owe you dinner this weekend for screwing your interceptions?
We can say he owes me dinner, but, you know, Max, if it wasn't for Max in the first place, Max and the rest of the D-line putting pressure on Phillip, I probably wouldn't be in the position I'm in right now. So, you know, I love those guys. And I would say it starts with the D-line and the back 7. We take care of the rest.
You guys go ahead and go. Josh gets you in for the go-ahead score. Now you have 4 plays to hold Phillip Rivers. How much pressure was on you guys on the defense for the Oakland Raiders?
Right. I mean, it's definitely a situation you want to be in, right? Being up by a score, but, you know, just trusting the guys around me, and you know, Phillip's going to come at you. And obviously, he knew what coverage we're in. There's a couple of times he ran plays to outside or leverage and stuff like that. So credit to the guys just making plays.
Hey, Eric, you were here for a few years now, and you're one of 9 guys that were here before Gruden got here, right? And everybody else in that locker room's pretty much new. What kind of guys are they bringing in to be Raiders so you guys can get to where you want to go?
Effort guys and character guys.
Effort and character.
Effort and character. I think we, you know, in the past 2 years, we dealt with a lot of adversity, you know, and I think the locker room has stayed really close and believed in one another, you know. And shout out to the draft this year, and those guys bringing in free agents and drafting guys, obviously, that are producing at a high level. So shout out to the organization upstairs and the guys in the locker room. I have a lot of love for those guys. You guys know how I feel about you.
That final drive, you had an opportunity to seal the game with an interception of Phillip Rivers. The ball went through your hands. What was your emotional state at that moment? What were you thinking?
I was pretty upset. I was pretty upset that I dropped it. I knew I could have sealed the game, but then I was really upset when, we got the flag the next play because I put that on me. Like I said, I always say you got to capitalize on your opportunities, and that was the opportunities. I just might do extra calf raises this week.
It's not the push-ups. Usually it's the push-ups. Calf raise is the new one.
That's true.
I couldn't jump high.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would be happy about that.
This was such an incredible performance by the defense. 3 interceptions tonight. You guys had 4 all season. So you guys just turned it on tonight. But you in particular, you have such a crazy story and how you got to the NFL and this moment right here. And for everybody at home that isn't familiar with your story, here's just like the bullet point version of it. D2 walk-on, 2012 you went undrafted, no invites to rookie mini camps. You took jobs at UPS, at a potato chip factory, tried out for the CFL, drove 3 hours to Buffalo to get there, then played there 2013 to 2015, 4 games with the Saints in 2016. You weren't a starter. You didn't cement yourself really as a starter with the Raiders until this year. And this performance tonight, I think, really solidified your role with this team and so many people's minds. How rewarding was this game for you after that journey that you had?
It's a blessing, and I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's been involved and part of my life. I couldn't do it with those people and the support of my family. And, like I keep saying, the teammates around me just make me better, and the coaches believe in me, and it's different when you go out there and you play with more confidence, you play a little more free, you're not real robotic out there. So shout out to those people.
Hey, Eric, when your dreams weren't coming to fruition, and you're working in a potato chip factory and going, I still want to play football. Right. Did you ever dream of sitting right here after a couple of big interceptions?
The great Mooch right here.
Right.
That's the key.
Did you ever dream about this kind of moment that you've had? You're the star of the show, man.
Never would have thought this. Honestly, it's a great platform to have, but I'm not really the guy that like this type of spotlight, to be honest. My spotlight ends when my helmet comes off, but I'm sitting here and I got to thank God and just having faith in him and just allowing me to push through the adversity throughout my life, growing up to now. And again, my family's a huge support in everything I do, and
they're here. They're here, right?
Oh,
Where's your family at? Bring your family
right
up on the stage.
Right
Come on
here.
down.
Yes.
Look at this. Bring the better half.
Oh boy.
All right, so who is everybody here? Introduce
walking out
the whole
first,
fam.
we have Isaiah. He's our oldest by a minute.
I like the flannels.
We have our princess, Esme. She's 3. We have Elijah, Ellis, and my beautiful wife, Teresa. Hi, guys.
Wow.
And I'm being told, too, you have the names of your kids on your hat?
I do. It's just something I just wanted to do, and they were here, and, my son Isaiah, he watches everything. He's my worst critic. He'll tell me everything I do wrong. I swear. He tells me everything I do wrong, but, when you have a good game like this, they look at you as a hero, and it means a lot to me.
Hey, Mom, where were you sitting during the game? Were you up in the stands, or were you sitting over here with these crazies? Where were you with these kids? Do the kids understand football a little bit? Huh? They good fans of Dad?
Oh, yeah.
You play football?
Yeah.
Do you? What position do you play?
Say receiver.
Are you a receiver? All right.
What are these fans here just playing in front of this environment here with your family? What do these fans mean to you, and how different are they than every other team?
They're loyal, they're rowdy, they're passionate about their football, and playing in this stadium, the energy they feed off, and, they give us a hard time. We're out there. We're trying to get the call, and they're making a noise, and we love it, and I love this. I love Raider Nation.
You talk about your story. How do you feel every day when you get up? You kiss your wife, you kiss your kids, you go to work, and you come into this facility every single day. What goes through your mind? And I'm not talking about the political answer. I'm talking about the heart answer. When at times when you were working in the potato factory trying to feed your better half and trying to feed your kids, and now you get to feed them abundantly. What does this really mean to you outside of the answer that we all know that, I'm blessed, I'm this, I'm that, but the heart of the man? Speak about that, because a lot of people don't know your story. A lot of people just see that you're playing football, you're on this stage, and people just believe, you got it easy. You're different. You cut from a different cloth. Right. Speak about that.
You know, a lot of adversity growing up, and you know, my mom, just seeing her go through what she went through, and it put me in this position to I am today. And like I said, my family support me through and through, and my biggest goal was to provide for my family, and they supported me, and now I have the opportunity to provide for them. It's incredible. It's emotional, honestly. My teammates are making fun of me up there, like, don't cry. But it's an emotional time.
It's an emotional time. And you said something, though. You said you're not used to this attention. You didn't get attention today. You earned this seat. You've done some things that men and young men hope and pray to do. When I was a little boy, I wanted to play football my whole life, and I played 16 years. But times like this, I can tell you, you can't go back, so appreciate it. Love your beautiful wife. Tell her how special you are to have her and how special you are to have those beautiful kids.
Appreciate it. That's real. Appreciate that.
Eric, this is a time that you just need to relish in, enjoy it. You deserve it. You earned it out here. You and your teammates. This was a huge win for you guys. You and your family. Go enjoy it. Your next few days off, and give Raider Nation one more little fire up.
Buddy.
Be right back after this. Much more to come here from Oakland.
The 83 team, it was
a morning surprise.
Big night here in Oakland, and every week after the game we highlight an artist, and this week it is DaBaby with his new song Bop Out. You can see here, Steve, look at this gift, amazing. Jordan 3 signed by DaBaby for Eric Harris, so awesome. He came through DaBaby, our LA studio. We talked with him, and here's a little sneak peek at our interview.
I'm a little bit different.
Who would you want to play alongside of?
My boy Tom Brady. I bet I'll score a touchdoon.
Brady fires the back shoulder for touchdown.
Night. We'll make a call to Bill Belichick. We'll get a meeting.
I rock with Bill too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my uncle.
That's what I'm talking about right there. It's gonna be like that all day.
I've loved the Patriots since I was a kid. So shout out to my boy Tom Brady. We winners. Do one of y'all got a personal relationship with him? Tell him hit my phone. I need to walk him out like it's a boxing match.
You can check out that full interview coming up tomorrow on GMFB. But guys, listen to this. Our Ian Rappaport knew this is just in. Oh. Our Ian Rappaport is reporting that our own Deion Sanders is a candidate right now to be the head coach at Florida State.
What? Well, you know what, Colleen, that doesn't surprise me.
In the top 5?
That doesn't surprise me one iota. I've been coaching with him for 10 years in the Under Armour game, and he's so good with kids. He's so good with those kids as a role model, as a coach, as a former player, the whole enchilada, all right?
Sounds like Mooch is canvassing for
a
position on that coaching staff.
Mooch, can I use you as a reference in the future?
Prime has got it. He should be a candidate for Florida State.
That's pretty good.
And that's his son. That's Shedeur. Is that Shedeur? Yep. He's pretty good.
So, of course, he's one of the greatest players in Florida history there, Florida State history. But as you can see here, you know what? Any excuse to use this footage. I love it. I love the throwbacks of all of these guys. But this would be a pretty cool thing for Deion, no?
I think it would be awesome. I love the idea.
I think it'd be exciting, if nothing else. What
are you trying to say? You don't think he can coach?
How much swag would he bring to that position?
Well,
so much.
Considering he doesn't have a lot of experience in the college ranks coaching, I would say it's a little unknown if he's going to have success.
He has experience in coaching at multiple levels.
Really?
And I believe that he can do it. Huh? There are other
Sounds
coaches.
like another guy looking for a spot on the coaching staff.
For me? Are you talking about me?
I don't know. You seem to be
I'm just
politicking a little bit for a role.
I just believe in my guy. I'm not looking to do that.
You know what?
You're getting defensive about it.
I think Prime would excite that fan base.
I think so too.
1 second. You got guys like Penny Hardaway going back and coaching at Memphis. And had the #1 recruiting class in the country. You don't think Deion would have a great recruiting class?
I was going to say, if he's sitting in your living room, you're going to be saying yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now you.
I'm just saying he can recruit. I don't know if he can coach.
I am 100% on board for this. I love it. Prime, I hope you get that job.
Shut your dungarees.
Yes, I don't know what that means, Steve. Great win for the Raiders tonight. Coming up next, NFL Total Access. They'll have more post-game coverage from tonight's game, including highlights and interviews, plus a preview of the biggest matchups from Week 10, including the Cowboys and the Vikings. That's NFL Total Access coming up next. Guys, we will see you next week in Cleveland from the Muni Line.
Land! Going home, baby.
Let's go, Joe.
Let's go.
Thank you for watching the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
You got me. What do you want? I've got AI robots. I've got VR goggles.
I want your sled, please.
No.
Be a shame if this went viral.
For those who never compromise. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event.
It was pretty good this year.
Lease the GLC 300 SUV for $439 a month with credit towards your first month's payment at the Mercedes-Benz